Good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you, everyone? It's Friday, last day of the week. So share. The screen is shared. Everyone should be able to see it. Let me just bring Traders Lab. All right. So very interesting action right now in the market. Let's see how it's looking into the week's end and how I will look to play it. And again, if you have any questions, the chat is open, or you can request to speak as well. So first thing first, let's start with the TLMM dashboard. Yes, we are still in correction. But last night I explained in the report how I see this current market as potentially being the anticipation setup that I like to trade. So what is this anticipation setup? Is basically when the market is pulling back, is correcting for a few days and weeks, like we have been like right now since the end of July, in fact. So selling came hard at the end of the month, and since then we've basically been basing and been going sideways. Yes, we are below moving averages, but if you draw some line right here, we are still within that base and holding the August 1st low. And below those highs and below the 21 and 50 DMA. So broad Nasdaq is still in that basing structure, and Brett has been contracting for the last few weeks now since the end of that April rally. We've been basing, we've been really digesting that rally from the lows. Right now, we're really approaching an interesting level, I would say. That's where in 2024, that continuation move started as well. We removed a lot of excess from that April rally as well. So do we need to retest the lows? That's honestly what I was thinking that could have happened. But I remain open-minded to see the market kind of digest right here and attempt a new uptrend, which now we have the room for a sustained uptrend for some nice move and easy money, having that space on the McClellan. The market works in waves, right? And the McClellan just showed that action that market expand, market need to contract and digest, market expand needs to contract, on and on and on. That's the same story and the same picture every market cycle. Yeah, you have some crazy market like 2020, but those are not the norm. You have to account for a market that runs, that need time to base, need time to digest or pull back before the next leg higher. That's how the market works. So yeah, anticipation pattern for me is always the same thing. When you get that pullback, that correction action, but still basing, right? Not in a clear downtrend. So right now we're still below moving averages. So yeah, it could fail. We reject those structures and we make a new low, which would confirm a longer pullback and a really downtrend structure going on. But yeah, anticipation pattern for me is seeing those short-term breadth extension being oversold, like it was the case for the stocks above their 5 and 10-day moving average, and seeing that hook up across the board. So that's kind of the first signal that, okay, buyers are stepping back in, sellers are a bit tired. You also get the McClellan oscillator hook up that we had 2 days ago, and yesterday we followed through. So that initial hookup is really what will show breadth starting to improve. Sellers are getting tired, and buyers are stepping in. That's the first step. Then you wait for confirmation. Is the buyers really aggressive and want to follow through and want to step on it? That will have confirmation today or early next week. Do we see a reclaim of the 21 DMA, which, if we see that reclaim, will automatically be in a rally attempt? And seeing the McClellan flip positive would be another layer of confirmation that the market is improving and want to go higher. Now let's look at internals. So that's why I remain positive for the market right here. Basically, you're seeing credit spreads being rejected after a spike right into their weekly structure. You see the same thing for VIX as well. So you have that series of lower highs playing out. So far the structure is respected. You have the yields breaking down, basically confirming the rate cuts. You have Bitcoin respecting that base area and now back into the weekly structure and trying to confirm a weekly reversal of last week's high. So that's the first step to maybe we need to build higher. And to be honest, I really like the Bitcoin setup. But I don't want to engage before the weekend. And of course, it will run, and it always set up on a Friday. That's a classic for Bitcoin. But yeah, I don't like that over the weekend risk. So I will personally look early next week. If we do rally into the weekend, we'll look to catch some weakness next week. As long as we still build inside and around the top area of the weekly structure. Nasdaq still very nice weekly and daily chart. So that's exactly what you saw in the breadth, right? So you had the April rally. Then basing action and clear basing action with VCP characteristic, right? So you have those higher lows playing out with a shakeout early this week, and you have those lower highs as well. So contracting action. Today is the price breakout of that constellation on the Nasdaq, and on those type of days you want to see breadth expansion. So really today, if we confirm that new uptrend, that push higher, we want to see GDB in the 80s, 90s, for sure. That would confirm the breadth trust. I would also like to see that McClellan flip positive, and I think we can do it, especially with the last few days not being really distribution, but pretty light selling day, so we can certainly flip positive today. So we had that anticipation set up yesterday with that breadth hookup, and today we are price breaking out, and we want to see that breadth trust today. We want to see breadth coming in. We want to see that momentum showing up on those 4% up on the day, and that will give a really strong weekly close and confirmation that there's more going on for next week. And I passed, but there's so much kind of leading stocks that are just going. So you have ALAB, CRDO, Shop. I don't know. Screen the recent leaders, and we can do that with more easily with Traders Lab, right? So just look at the leaders. HAP, ALAB, Hood still building at the 50. Google just making new highs after new highs. Palantir still building pretty nicely, and that will be a focus for me today. That might be the second head. Reddit, ANET new high. GE new high. AVGO gapping up 10% pre-market. Micron, very nice right side. Carvana, look at how it builds. Roblox, very nice action here. Netflix breaking out. Amazon new high. GEV, Mongo new high. BA still building nicely. Shop new high on the right side. So you just scan the liquid leaders, and to be honest, everything looking pretty healthy and pretty strong. So yes, you have the indices, you have your breadth indicators, but just going through your liquid leaders scans and lists will give you a lot of information how the market is shaping up as well. All right, so what's on my focus for today? So new position from yesterday, Micron, still looking very good pre-market. Tesla, still in that weekly setup, might even be actionable from the weekly setup today. Spot, which I entered pre-market, I really like the weekly setup right here. Long base that we broke out, came to retest, shake out on earnings, higher lows, and then reclaim of the 10-week moving average. And I would like to see that weekly reversal pivot being taken out today, and ideally even a full structure reclaim to flip that bar black to close the week. That would be pretty nice to see. Netflix, like I said, structure reclaim. We confirmed the weekly reversal as well, with that higher low looking very, very good. And I don't know if you remember, guys, but that was one of the first mega cap and names overall to really lead the way in April following earnings. So seeing that kind of leader that came down with the market, held that 10-week moving average structure and reclaiming here is another clue of that market strength right here. All right, what do I look today? I'm still looking at Hood, but to be honest, I want to see that base, and we'll probably wait for next week weakness to engage in that name. Carvana will be gone for me, especially with that open. Will be above 1.5 ATR from the 10-week moving average. Palantir, still think that it might need a bit more time, but I don't know. That's a leader. We're right in the 10-week moving average, 2 inside week as well. So yeah, I like that chart, especially the daily right here. And you heard that before, right? But from failed setup come fast moves, right? And that was kind of a picture perfect short setup for someone that only looking at that chart. You had that clear breakdown, wedge higher into declining structure, and 2 days ago you had that failure. So it tried to break down and confirm that bearish setup, and instead held that low and been kind of rejected into the declining 21 DMA structure. But yesterday was tight inside day. So if we fail that daily setup right here and we reclaim the 21 DMA, we're definitely in to a nice weekly setup in the last market cycle winner. Snow, not for me here, but that's a name that I want to track in the weekly structure for some construction and base building. Auber, a bit of lagging action. Not interested here. Might need to shake out, and I don't know. It's kind of lagging here. Not really interested. And AMD as well, lagging, especially pre-market here. Probably have to be related to some news or AVGO earnings or something like that. But yeah, it simply need more time. We're retesting the low of the structure right here, so definitely not a focus for me today. All right, so let's take the pre-market checklist. So we're still below both structure, but could see a reclaim today, and I think that's so we're still inside structure in the weekly, so that's a nice back into structure, and we could see the reclaim of the 21 DMA structure today. Brett McClellan, still downtrend, still below the 10. We didn't get overbought, oversold, but I will add something here, especially for the anticipation kind of market setup. I want to add, yeah, let's add it. Kind of the hookup, which we had. So anticipation setup from short-term OS hookup, right? That's the anticipation setup. And yeah, I don't have those shorter extension here. That's all right. VIX credit spread still kind of risk on. Like I said, Bitcoin back into structure. I think that's really a long setup here with the daily structure reclaim, and we're back into weekly structure. So good looking chart. We're still in correction, but that could flip today. So there's an anticipation setup in play. I'm still defensive but optimistic, like I explained. And switch trades allowed. So I will say yes because of the anticipation setup, but yes, but need to see rally. Let me add it here. Okay. So anticipation setup in play. Testing the market with small exposure and will ramp up exposure if we confirm the rally signal, which again will come from a Brett Trust today. So we have that NASDAQ breakout. We want to see Brett coming, momentum come in, and that would bring the McClellan summation with a hookup, sorry. So that will flip the Brett and kind of bring the market into a Brett expanding regime, and that's what you want to see early on in a new uptrend. Plus daily structure reclaim on QQQE, right? That's what we want to see. All right, so that's pretty much it. So you're starting to see a bit more green as the market trying to confirm a new uptrend, breaking out, especially on job reports numbers. So we want to see that follow through today. And if we do, then it will be a good justification to increase exposure, increase the risk taken. If you get traction and if you get good feedback from your open positions as well. All right, so let's take some questions. So there's a question about Ethereum. Yeah, Sandy is long here. There's definitely a setup. There's this breakout. We're building higher lows at the 21 DMA. We now have a potential confirmation of daily reversal. So I would really look at that 33, 32-ish pivot at the open for potentially a retest, some weakness into it to engage. But yet, for me, I don't want to have this risk over the weekend, but that's a nice daily setup. All right, next one, ALX, how do you choose between Bitcoin and Ethereum? Both great setups. Yes, I just feel more comfortable trading Bitcoin than Ethereum. So I know Ethereum is leading, of course, but more volatile and less kind of institution supported. So yeah, for me, I prefer to focus on Bitcoin than Ethereum. But both very good setups. Bitcoin a bit more kind of long-term basing setup. But like I said, expect Bitcoin to move a bit more like a large cap, mega cap stock going forward as it's getting adopted, it's getting institutional support. You won't see those kind of crazy climax move anymore, or at least I don't think so. Expect more muted uptrend, less volatility, and that's all good. And at the end, that's what I want. Yeah, so the question is, isn't Palantir now living below the DMA structure? Yeah, but depends where you look at. If you're on the weekly, that's basing action right into the 10-week moving average structure, and holding that base structure as well. So if you look at the weekly, we're right into it. We're not leaving below. Uh, Leaving below would be that kind of weekly action. That would be that kind of weekly action. That would be that kind of weekly action, right? That's not what we get right now. Right now we have a powerful uptrend. We're pulling back into the weekly structure and getting 2 tight weeks and building action. And just like I said, the setup here, for me at least, is the reclaim of the 21 DMA structure. So there was a setup here that I tried this week. It was a bit on anticipation on this reversal pivot breakout, but it was not really rejected at the 21 DMA structure. But now if we push higher here and we reclaim that structure, it will kind of give the weekly daily confirmation. So you have that weekly basing action right into the weekly structure. Then if you had the confirmation, and that's a bit like the market right now, right? The weekly is right into structure, and the daily just below the daily structure. And if we do have constructive and strong action today, that will be the reclaim of the structure. So same thing on Palantir. You get that basing action in the weekly structure, and if you get that daily structure reclaim, then it just had conviction for the weekly daily setups. I'm not saying to buy it here, right? That's not what I said. What I said is the setup and the confirmation will come from the daily structure reclaim. All right. Is there anything else in the So like I said, not quite ready. I want to watch this one for next week. Palantir, if we do reclaim the daily structure, I will put a starter in this. That might be the only move that I do today, considering that I engage in spot pre-market. But yeah, AVGO will be extended. Carvana will be extended at the open. Spot I engage, I think it was one of the best setup right now. Lam Research, don't like the right side volatility. Nvidia, I think need more time to digest that earnings report. Snow need time to build. Uber kind of flagging, same thing for AMD. And Tesla, I'm already in. But might be a good opportunity to add to the position today as well. Maybe add some quarter of a percent of risk. I will see what I do, but I do like that setup. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's 9:20. Is there any? So Tesla only had. What do you mean? That's my only had, or it's this, or it's the only one to add? Just to make sure, what's the question? Oh, could it be a new position? Yeah, of course. Keep in mind, if I had to a position, that's only because I already have a position and it's still within kind of the buying window for me. So if you're kind of trading off the daily, it's not best to engage on that type of gap up. Maybe look for some weakness to retest Wednesday's high pivot. or a bit lower. So if we see some early day weakness, that would be ideal to initiate, uh, especially a new position, right? But from the weekly perspective, as long as we're not 1.5 ATR from the 10-week moving average, for me the weekly setup is still valid, right? Great, pleasure. And please, guys, don't be caught up in the macro picture about interest rates, about job numbers, about all those things. Price will tell. Right now, we do have that anticipation set up. Like I said, uh, we want to see Brett coming today. Price confirm that structure reclaim. And if we do see those things, we basically confirm the anticipation setup and we do confirm but the potential new uptrend from here. So price breadth momentum picture will tell everything that we need to know today. And as always, I will update along the day to see if we do confirm it or not. But so far, pre-market, things are looking pretty strong, pretty good to have that bread trust. But yeah, again, any setups can fail. But if you don't engage in this type of anticipation and confirmation setup right here, you'll buy extended when you get too much confirmation, and it will be too late uh, for engaging with conviction. So have a good day, everyone. If there's any more question, I will be in the pit, and otherwise, have a good trading day. Bye bye, everyone. Cheers.